Hey, everybody. It's Carmina Mev with the Fit and Healthy After 40 Club. I'm curious, have you ever been in a situation where you are starting or you are well within your health, fit and healthy journey, and you're getting friends and family who are seemingly on purpose, right? Discouraging you from your goals, right? They'll be like, oh, I let's go eat ice cream, or they bring pizza or things that you don't want to eat, and you're like, are you doing this on purpose? Right? Because here's the reality: none of us are making lifestyle changes in a vacuum, right? We all have people in our lives that they're going to be affected by the changes that you want to make, right? And in turn, they might do one of two things. They might be either contributing to your success or threatening your success, and therefore they're really key in your being in your whether you succeed or fail in your experience. So because of this, it is useful to spend some time thinking about what's the best way to approach the people in your life when you embark on a healthy lifestyle changes, because hopefully we want to bring them along with us on the journey. That way, everybody feels heard and appreciated, because ultimately, this is going to make or break your experience and determine how quickly you reach your goals. So, would that be useful? Yes? Okay, so first, let me introduce myself and then we jump right in.
I've spent the last 3 years studying to become a health and nutrition coach, and now in my 40s, I'm on a mission to get in the best shape of my life. The real question is, how will I do it without dieting, starving myself, or doing insane workouts? This show is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share healthy tips and strategies to break free from sugar, flatten my belly, and lose fat naturally. My name is Carmina Mevs, and welcome to the Fit and Healthy After 40 Club.
All right. So we're back. And I want to share with you some suggestion, so that when you're having those tricky conversations, you are armed with the right steps and the right words, right? So that you get less pushback and more support. First of all, I want to thank you if you are watching this with me live. So if you're live with me, type live in the comments. And if you're catching the replay, thank you again for spending a few minutes with me, and type replay so that I know that you were here. Okay, so I have 5 suggestions for you on how to handle family and friends as you embark on your fit and healthy journey. You ready? All right, let's see what number one is. Number one is first to explain what you are doing and why you're doing it. So I know it sometimes it feels like, duh, what do I need to tell people what I'm doing? But here's why. When people don't have information, they tend to make things up, right? And usually they go for the worst case scenario. So this means that if you're not clear with the people in your life about what you're doing, they are going to assume the worst and react accordingly. So what do I mean by that? So they may assume that because now you've decided, to lose weight, that you're only going to be eating broccoli and brown rice for the next 6 months, and you're going to be expecting them to do the same, right? So there are your friends, for example, may assume that, okay, well, we can no longer invite Sue to go out for drinks with us, right? Because she's on a diet, so that will never happen again, right? So they're going to assume that you're going to change too much and no longer want to be with them, right? And when people think of the worst case scenario, what it does is that sometimes involuntarily, it will trigger fear, and fear tend to cause people to lash out or to be openly or passively unsupportive of your effort. So the best way to prevent this is to really be open and be transparent about exactly what it is that you're doing, what might change, what will not change, and how much you want them to be an important part of this journey. Okay. Because once you explain yourself, you can also ask them, what are you worried about? Right. So, as you hear me say that I'm going on this fit and healthy journey, for you, what are your concerns? That way it can be out on the open, and you don't have those awkward or passive aggressive behavior, right? Number two, it's another strategy, is simply to ask for help and for support. And again, be specific about what you need and what you don't need, right? Because obviously we want the people in our lives to be helpful, to be supportive, but sometimes we make the mistake of assuming that they already know what that help looks like. But that's not always the case, right? Because sometimes, again, our loved ones, they want to help, but they don't have no idea how to do that. Okay. So it's our job to first ask for help and support and be super specific about what that means. Okay. What do you actually want them to do or not do? Right. Because here's the thing, they can't read your mind. Right. So, for example, you might want to be open about, hey, I want to try new foods. Right. Or you might want their help to cooking, a couple times a week. Okay. Some of us are lucky like that. We have people who can cook in the house. Or maybe you just need help with some food shopping or meal prep. Or if you shop together, it might be like, I would really appreciate your support if instead of buying a gallon of ice cream, you only buy just enough for yourself so that I am not tempted to have some ice cream at the same time. Again, I'm not saying that you can never have ice cream. That's not the point. I'm just giving you examples on how you can be super specific with the people in your life about what you need. Okay. And also sometimes it's asking them to stop saying certain things because they think it might be helpful, but they're actually not. For example, when people make comments like, you don't need to lose weight, I love you just the way you are, right? That comes from a good place, right? This is a lovely thought, but in actuality, this is not supportive at all of the direction that you're trying to move in. So it's a good opportunity for you to really repeat your true intentions with the changes that you're making and why you're making them. Right? It's like, thank you so much for loving me just the way I am, but I also want your support in helping me become the best version that I can be. Because us wanting to lose weight has nothing to do with not loving who we are, right? It's just that we want to get better and we want people in our life to push to hold us up, not try to keep us where we are. Number three is a little bit like number two, but is to get them involved, right? Because very often we don't like to burden people, right? We don't want to give people things to do or burden them with the lifestyle changes that we're making. So we try to do it in a way that impacts them as little as possible. So maybe we make lasagna for the family, but then we sit and we eat salad on our own after they're done, right? And that doesn't feel good for anybody. And as a result, it's not sustainable and you're going to quit in like just a few weeks if you last that long. Instead, what you want to think about is how you can get the people in your life involved in what you're doing, right? Again, ask for their help in planning and preparing the meals. Sit down together with a couple of website of healthy cookbooks, right? and kind of make it fun to find recipes that you would love to try together, right? So that's just one idea. Okay. Number 4, and that is super important, is to let them have their own journey. And I know it's hard, right? Because when we see the people that we love, engage in unhealthy choices, and we are on that healthy journey, it's hard to see them hurt themselves. So because we worry about them naturally, we want to help, we want them to do the right thing, we want them to do what we're doing and care about what we care about. But the truth is, regardless of how much we love them, unless they are young children, what they are doing is really none of our business. And this might mean that, you know what, they never come around to your way of thinking, and they never make those healthy changes that are necessary to improve their health. Okay. And you have to be okay with that. Okay. All you can do is be open and honest about what you're doing. You lead by example, and you let them know what you want, what you want to do with them, right? And you love them unconditionally, no matter what they choose to do for themselves. And then the last one, it's super important, is to remember that no one can make you feel anything. Because sometimes, even when we've done all the right things, we've had the conversations, we ask for help, we try to get the people that we love on board and involved in what we're doing. The truth is, they're not ready, and that's okay. And unfortunately, you will find that some people in your life, some people who are close to you, will be unhelpful, unsupportive, and sometimes even outright hostile, and they're determined to sabotage you. And when you find yourself in those situations, this is a time for you to set clear boundaries with that person and to protect those boundaries fiercely. Okay. And it's also a time for you to remember that no one can make you feel anything that you don't allow yourself to feel. Right. So part of setting those boundaries is deciding for yourself how far are you going to allow other people's opinions and behaviors to affect your experience and your choices. Okay. That's a decision that you get to make, nobody else. Okay. So these were my 5 tips to help your friends and family get on board when you're starting on a healthy journey. I hope this was helpful for you, because I really know that can make or break your efforts. So if you want some support with this, I want to invite you to a free coaching conversation with me. All you have to do is go to chatwithcarmina.com, and let's find out what's stopping you, what's slowing you down, what's keeping you from taking consistent action. So again, all you have to do is go to www.chatwithcarmina.com, and let's do this together. It was a pleasure chatting with you today. Hope to see you soon, sometime this week, and talk to you later. Bye for now. Good night.